racing at its purest. One-on-one down the quarter mile, making full noise. Willowbank Raceway, based west of Brisbane in Queensland. Fantastic location to bring the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Show, and it is a show. Plenty of families here. The kids are having fun. The party in the pits is underway, and the drivers are ready to go. Let's hear from them now.
First round is just, look, you just don't know with Willowbank. Love coming to this place. It's my home track. You know, the first one's always the nervous one. Once we get the monkey off our back, we'll be sweet. So, yeah, no, looking forward to it.
So I have Josh lead for the first round, which is really exciting. I don't really get much of a chance to race Josh, or haven't had much of a chance to race him. My plan of attack is just to go out there and get from A to B as quick as possible and hopefully get that win line.
I've raced her before up in Cairns. Not so great for the Bandit, just smoked the tyres off on the hit, and Emma sailed through with the win. But we'll see what happens today at Willowbank.
We've got Greg Lay actually. I haven't raced Greg. I don't even know if I've raced Greg, to tell you the truth. So yeah, pretty cool start because he's tough. The car's been going good lately. So his last 2 rounds have been really solid. So yeah, we've got to be on our game.
Here at the pit party, kids are here ready to get some autographs, some Team Hero cards. Sun's out, track's ready to go, so it should be some fun.
We just try and create a real party atmosphere so everyone else gets to experience these cars up close, personal, and bring the families into it. That's what it's all about.
Everyone's passionate up in Queensland as well. There are a lot of traditional drag races up here as well, like a lot of their stuff.
They're kind of like my idols, and yeah, I want to live up to be like them.
The kids love it, and they grow up loving it, and they start in junior dragsters and they finish. I'm 68. I'll be dead before I stop coming, and nothing but nitro from now on.
What a venue this is. A famous drag strip in Queensland. Willowbank is set to ignite tonight. As the sun sets, we are ready to go and have a listen to these beautiful beasts firing up. Dean Neal, that is Nitro. This is the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Series.
Can we just keep listening to that, please? That is so cool. And speaking of the conditions, I mean, we're in Queensland, it's tropical, it's sultry normally. There's not as much water in the air. Just think about it. You try and light a puddle of water, it doesn't really happen. So the conditions are there, and here comes some sick burnouts.
One of my favourite things about this series, big smoky half-track skids. Welcome to the plate, Rick Dorsey. And he's set to go toe-to-toe with the dark side, and here comes the Stormtrooper.
Imagine slotting yourself into that seat as we see it right now. Butterfly steering, simple but important componentry. Thousands, plural, thousands of horsepower in these cars. Man, I'd love to have a crack.
They are wild beasts, and tonight we're going quarter-mile racing for points. So unlike standard drag racing, where typically it might be elimination style, first to the finish line bags 3 points to move on through. And the winner of the event, the driver with the most points at the end of the night. It means we see plenty of these cars coming out for every single round of racing, 3 rounds in total. Here we go. Great drag race to start things off, and with a 5:40, that is an amazing run from Nitro Express. Big numbers, 300s off the quickest time ever, and getting 3 points in style.
Nice run for Greg Lay, off the trailer as we say in drag racing. Quick, from the get-go, speed.
I mean, for the Stormtrooper, that's just a bad beat. That's going in with a pair of kings, but just beaten by aces. It was a great run from Nitro Express. Nothing wrong in the other lane. That was just perfection. from Nitro Express. 3 points, and what a way to start. That's got the crowd's attention.
Gotta say, there was a hint of shake to me with Gorsey. He was tipping the tightrope, it's fair to say.
That's a good sign that the track has plenty of grip. You can also hear that chirp of the tyres at the end of the burnout. Always a sign that we've got grip today. This is a real state of origin battle, Queensland versus New South Wales.
Devil by name and nature? I think so. Will the real Shane Olive please stand up? It's been a while since we've really seen a sustained streak of hot form. The Red Devil, he's had a bit of a devil of a time. Okay, I'll stop the puns, but man, what a start to the action here. Good crowd on hand, beautiful weather, bit of smoke haze, but spot-on conditions for great Nitro Funny Car battles.
Who won the first 3 events at this track? Shane Olive, in 2 different cars. He's back in his favourite, the Red Devil. An awkward stage from Justin Walsh. He took a giant leap into the staging beams, and he just about gets there, but he's beaten with a 560 from the Red Devil. That was a great run. I think he just threw himself off in the staging procedure slightly then Justin Walsh. Couldn't quite chase down the Red Devil.
Just hinted towards the centre line early as well, Chad, so it's just in your mind, I need to correct this car a little bit, and you lose a bit of time and possibly a bit of speed as well. Gee, it's sat up nicely. Look at the Red Devil, just a nice, strong launch. Again, you just think on the edge of getting a bit of tyre shake up.
Just tapping that left front steerer tyre along the track. There it is, airborne again, as it shakes its way to half track. Great start to the night. There's still plenty more to come. And for the fans, especially the young fans, they love this. The wheel stander. Chelsea Lay at the wheel. This always impresses, not just because it does this at over 160 kilometres per hour. That's 100 mile per hour, but it does it for the entire drag strip. Steering through the floor, sparks flying off the wheelie bars. Yeah, that's super, super cool. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car action to come. Working our way through round 1, the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car series right here at Willowbank Raceway in Queensland. Cover your ears because here comes the horsepower.
Emma Begley ready to boogie. Certainly getting the grip and her head around these amazing, awesome machines. And we've seen some very good runs already. Can't wait for this.
So if the last battle was State of Origin, this one's probably Generation Next. Got a couple of second generation stars at the wheel, the emerging talent in the Australian drag racing scene, particularly in this series. And for Emma Begley, a solid improvement every time she goes out onto the track.
Right hand on the brake, trying to nuzzle in these flame-throwing missiles.
Stage lights on and away we go. Big reaction time advantage to the Bandit. Put out a cylinder on that left-hand side, but did not matter. 553 despite dropping a cylinder. Big, big run. Great run in the other lane from Begley. Just caught napping on the line, but a confidence builder for her.
Both drivers have want to step up their reaction times. That's the reaction to the flash of the green lights. They've got to leave, and their time starts once the car leaves. So you can run a slower time and win the race. But well done.
So the Bandit looking good once again. Coming off the back of a strong round up at Springmount Raceway, further north than where we are today.
Drivers always busy, busy, busy. Air shifted. You can see the driver just moving their left hand to the centre of that butterfly steerer. Great crowd. Good to see some young faces, and that's what happens at the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Circus. Comes to town. It's family friendly. It's awesome. It's fun.
So here comes the dark horse up against King Kong.
The grey-bearded ghost, huh? Paul Massinio.
This has been a tough track for him in recent history. His home race as well. Only the one podium from the 5 events here for the dark horse.
Cars are locked and loaded. There's not a lot of mucking around here. They're ready to rip down this racetrack. Clean leaving. Oh!
Wow, Messinio was on and off it at the finish line, only just held on. Cool drag race, slapping that throttle pedal through the finish line and snuck in for a win. Gee, there was only millimeters in that. What a run. King Kong, there's the G-forces. You can just feel it from the cabin. And that was an unusual run for the dark horse in the other lane. So that's the start of the lap, but it was at the other end. So on and off that throttle, you could see, check this out, the butterflies, that's at the top of the injector, had opening, closing, just got there. All right, we've got some more big names still to come. That's a cool view, looking off the back of one bad Kiwi.
The crazy Kiwi. Good form as of late. This is actually a bit of a marquee matchup. And looking forward to seeing how these two fare. We just saw a bit of a cough, a bit of an early shut-off in the previous matchup. But Morris McMillan is a legit contender here, as is Donnelly. Sleek, powerful machines.
2 podiums for McMillan this year. Just the one for the Avenger. He's sent into stage now. You light up those first staging beams. They're the top lights that you'll see on the Christmas tree. And you just got to find the full stage beams and slap the pedal. Whoa! One bad Kiwi going nowhere. That was one bad start. And the Avenger takes the points.
Like to look at the replay on that one. 5:53. Nice for the Avenger.
It was almost instant tyre smoke for one bad Kiwi. Let's have another look. Oh, it slapped the wheelie bar. So maybe the wheelie bar height set too low and it's bounced straight back off that wheelie bar, unloaded those rear tyres. RPM went sky high.
When you unload all that horsepower, a big, big problem. You need the rubber tyres on the glue and rubbered racetrack. Oh, gee, even the Avenger just got out of the hole, as they say in drag racing. Picked it up, got the wheel speed up, and off it went down the racetrack. Some of these drivers getting greedy, Chad. That's the question. They've seen the early performances. And as we know with the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Series, it's about points. You want to get to the finish line first, bank some points. You cannot rest, not for a microsecond in this series.
Here comes the time traveller. That's the view looking back at Nathan Pirano, another Queenslander in the house. And the West Aussie, LA Hooker. Well, we've seen Emma Begley out there. Now time for Dad to take centre stage. The time traveller trying to travel into the fives once again today.
A lot of people might ask, what are they doing at the front of the car? Often they're playing around with the air-to-fuel mixture. You need air into that mix, force-fed into these amazing nitro-breathing engines. You want to get that just right so you don't go up into wheel spin or tyre shake. We've seen a lot of people erring on the side of shake early.
Time advantage to time traveller, but he's across the centre line. That is disqualification. Didn't matter anyway, because with a 568, over 400 clicks, it's LA Hooker, but this was wild. Oh, that's close. Very close.
Coming at you. Dare you say it.
I like that. LA Hooker, he'll like that too. There goes the parachute lever onto the brake lever. Nice run, 3 points to Begley. Fair old margin at the finish line. So the drivers that go through on the maximum 3 points so far, and that's a nice way to start the night. Nitro Express low ET, that's always the tiebreaker. Let's get down into the pits and find out some more information.
Oh, look, although it wasn't a win, I'm absolutely stoked. I haven't actually had a first pass where I've gone into the fives, so to get a 568, my PB is actually only a 560 flat on my first run here at Willowbank was awesome.
We knew the track was hot and it was a little bit greasy, but it just held, to tell you the truth. I think it just gave us enough wheel speed to keep the momentum going, and yeah, it ended up running that big number, so it was cool.
Car hauled good through the middle. We just got to go fix the start line. We'll get that sorted for this one, and we'll just make a good A to B pass. Yeah, we've got plenty of work to do on all the other cars to try and get them going. The Bandit and the Kong went good, so we'll fix them all up, and hopefully next run we'll get them all going fast.
Us just coming in, I just thought I better get in and give the boys a hand to get this done. But I got Massinio next round, so I'm going to go over and give him a rev, try and get into his head before we go out.
Don't go anywhere, we need a quick break. Round 2 action is still to come. And on the other side of this, we're going to be catching up with one bad Kiwi, Maurice McMillan.
I'm Maurice McMillan, and I drive the One Bad Kiwi Nitro funny car. So I was born and raised in New Zealand. Dad had always been into racing, so it was just natural that as a kid you ended up going, and I just fell in love with the junior dragsters. And I remember when I was 4 years old, and I said to Mum and Dad, I want a junior dragster, and they said to me, you can have one, but you've got to miss 3 birthdays and 3 Christmases. And I'm pretty sure that they were trying to con me out of it. And as a 4-year-old, I turned around and said, yeah, no worries, let's go. I guess I was a pretty determined little kid to go racing. Did I think I'd ever get to do it for a living? Not at all, but when I first come and drove for Graham, he said, oh, you're going to come over here and work for me? And I went, no. Sure enough, 6 months later, he offered me to come in over here and look after the series, and it's just carried on ever since. So when I first come in the series, I just drove the car. We had someone else tuning the car. We just turned up on race day and raced, and went home after that. Now I manage the series, so we help put on the events with the tracks. Help the guys in the workshop manage the cars. On race day, I've got to drive the car. I've also got to tune 2 of the cars. So it's gone from kind of just turning up and having to drive to now on race day I've got multiple roles, which can be tough. But you've got to learn to deal with it and do the best job we can. Mum and Dad have just been like big supporters. They come to so many races. They look after our little son Lockie, who comes to every race meeting we have, which allows my wife Monique to work on the car, because I think I've been down the racetrack 5 or 6 times without her there. I don't like to race without her. So Mum and Dad love it. I don't know if they ever thought it would get to this either, but they are big supporters of what we do, and yeah, it's really cool. I'd like to think I'd stop, but reality is it ain't gonna happen. Like, it's in your blood. Even if you tried to stop, I don't think I could. I think I could.
You can hear the passion for the sport and his family in his voice. Maurice McMillan and One Bad Kiwi. And here we go into night time at Willowbank Raceway. Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro funny cars. And when it's night time, that means one thing: head of flames.
Rock, paper, scissors or nitro? I'll take nitro, thank you very much.
Nitro always wins.
It beats everything. Anything, everything for sure. And Anthony Begley.
Oh, wiggle at the end of that burnout.
That's a good sign though. That means the track's gripped up some.
And this is a grudge matchup for sure. I don't know how it happens. It's a random draw, believe it or not, but these two seem to find each other every single event.
It's fair to say the entire Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro funny car community love this matchup. And they're both on 3 points too. They both got the points in the back pocket in round 1. So they're fired up, and there is a victory potentially on the line outright here at Willowbank for both.
Hey, we got a pedal fest. Who's on it first? Now they're both lit up. And it's going to be the dark horse who gets there. Yeah, what a drag race. What a drag race. We love that.
Busy, busy, busy. Just the way we love it. Love seeing the header flames light up the night sky, despite both of them having troubles almost instantaneously at the start of this one. Flames out, unhinged the back end of both cars, got back on it. That takes real skill.
You know what? That was a piece of class from Messinio. The patience to let the tyre come back down before slapping it once again. Maybe Begley going a touch early. Cost him that one. But that was a good drag race. Proof that it's not about the number. Side-by-side sevens are just as cool as side-by-side fives. And have a look at this in the deep end. No chutes, and he's wrestling this thing on the brake. That's why it was bouncing around. All the brakes are in the rear.
Check that out, and just overpowered it just a little bit off the start line, but quick on catching it, collecting it, and getting it through to the finish. Who cares about the times? It's about the spectacle, and that was bucket loads of awesomeness right there.
Is that a precursor of what's to come now that the track has cooled down? Sunlight is off it, the conditions are so different, and the air too.
And going off the back of the first round, there were so many strong numbers that they're going to get a bit excited, a bit greedy. You need to get the points, you need to get the win.
All right, time for King Kong. Don't see too much difference in the lanes tonight, which is good news.
In fact, the groove, when we talk about the groove, it's that darker line right down the middle of the racetrack. That's where the build-up of rubber on the traction compound is building up. And it's, as you said, Chad, pretty much the same either side, left or right lane.
Both under 1/10 of a second at the tree. Off it early, but the win goes to Stormtrooper. Nice run. 581 in Battle of the Movie Stars, this one.
And that's another 3 points for Lay. And despite the shut-off, look at that for speed. Zip on by.
Great drive, but couldn't quite get there in the end. And the Stormtrooper motors on through with some points for the final round. Very hard to win the overall night with a loss. Usually you want to be going through to that final round on the full 6 points, but you can still fight for trophies. Still a chance, maybe, picking up a podium.
This is serious business time for one bad Kiwi against this guy. And let's be honest, it's not against just Rick Gorsey here. It's up against one of the best tuners ever in Australian drag racing history in that guy, GC Graham Cowan. And he's got the 3 points in round one. He was the benchmark talking about the Chev. So, what has Morrison McMillan got? He needs to bring his A game right here, right now. Tricky round two so far.
Gorsey just edging that into pre-stage now. Revs come down. Full fuel flow and we're ready. Wow! Nitro Express up in smoke, that's a rarity.
Oh.
And a big drive.
Oh.
With a late pedal for one bad Kiwi. That thing was headed to the wall and it still does a 55 with a pedal.
I love Morrison McMillan as much as it pains me to admit it. He gets near the wall, check this out.
Oh.
I'm not backing off, no way. I'm driving this thing. I want to beat the Express Beast, and I've done it. How cool is that?
Oh, so both those guys go through on 4 points for the final round. That was huge. What a run. And it's McMillan who gets those points, but we have so much more to come. Don't go anywhere. This is Willowbank Raceway. Round two action here at Willowbank, but before we go back to the track, let's meet the Begleys.
I get to race my daughter Emma, which it's great to line up against her, but I'm just waiting for the day when she goes past me because I'll never hear the end of it. I've been in fires, I've been in crashes, but the thing I'm the most scared of is Emma beating me.
Yeah, it's definitely a shock to most people when I do tell them, hey, on the weekends, my family, we spend at drag racing. I grew up around home track at Perth Motorplex, so whether I was into it at a young age or not probably wasn't really my choice. I just went down with mum and dad. To be honest, I was the one who begged dad to get me a junior. It took me a couple of years to convince him, but I finally got there. I knew from such a young age that I really wanted to follow in his footsteps and be a drag racer.
There's always an element of fear and concern. I've got trust in Emma, in her driving ability.
Look, the first time driving one of these cars, before I got in, I remember talking to Dad being like, can you please explain it to me? Like, what am I gonna feel? What am I gonna experience? And he just said, oh, look, Em, you've just gotta get in there and do it and you will know exactly how it feels. So it was definitely a shock to the system. I remember being thrown back in the seat, but not much after that. I remember when I found out in Swan Hill that Dad and I were racing each other for the first time. It was a dream come true. You know, I've always wanted to follow in his footsteps.
She drilled me on the light and it was just became a chase for the first 3/4 of the track. I was quite lucky to get round her in the top end.
Obviously, it would have been nice to beat him, but hey, he's got a lot more years experience on me, but I'll get there one day.
That'll never happen.
I think that would be the best thing that could ever happen. I would be ecstatic, I think. But hey, look, as I said, he's got so many years experience on me, and I only hope that one day I can take that win light.
Great family in Aussie drag racing from the West. And great to have them both here tonight in Queensland to go racing under lights. As we turn our attention back to round 2 action.
The time traveller against the young lady we just heard from, Emma Begley. Spent a lot of her life in the southwest corner of Australia, our beautiful part of the world. They have a very relaxed but very passionate view to the sport of drag racing, and they particularly love this series, and so do we. The Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Series. And what a fun round 2 it's been.
Well, there's no doubt that Time Traveller and Nathan Pirano have more experience, particularly at this track. But you have to say the ET advantage here really lies with Let's Boogie and Emma Begley, so got to say, this is her race to lose.
More and more seat time for her as well. She's getting more comfortable and familiar, just yanking on that brake as she bumps the car in for a big race here.
Pirano with the start line advantage, and they're both up in smoke. Begley tries a few times. Pirano's still vulnerable. Couldn't get there. Couldn't get there. Now we've had side-by-side 8s. We'll add that to the side-by-side 7s. And that was a cool race. She tried. She never gave up. Just couldn't quite get there.
It was trouble straight away. Big pedal, big pedal. Really had to back off and let the car settle down. Long pauses in resuming the acceleration or go pedal, I guess.
Yeah, that is a great example. We compare that to what we saw with Paul Messinio, who just waited for the tyre to come back down before slapping the throttle pedal again. Emma Begley, a little bit keen and couldn't quite get the tyres to hook up.
Really difficult run for Emma Begley. Flames, power, fury. Aeroflow awesomeness.
Oh, that's a cool sound as that supercharger winds down. Had a few races in this second round, haven't we, where we've been on and off that throttle pedal. It's one of the cool things about this series is that the engines are designed to be able to take a bit of punishment, plus the format, because every point matters. Never, ever give up.
Nitromethane, we keep talking about it. You hit it with a hammer and it'll explode the hammer. But these cars are so strong and solid. They're able to get off and on it. That is hard to do. And it's a testament to the series that they can race hard, race heavy, just the way we love it.
So, the Bandit versus Terminator. How about you? Is he about to terminate him out of proceedings tonight into full stage? Wow, and another one up in smoke on the hit of the throttle. And it's the Terminator who cruises down to 3 points. And we are seeing some big upsets tonight.
A guy that knows a lot about this racetrack, has accomplished a lot over the years, both in this series and others at Willowbank Raceway, but that is trouble from the get-go for the Bandit. And man, that car turned around quite a bit, so it was a good recovery for Lay to get it back and settled and sorted before he got through to the finish line.
Cool shot, watch the parachutes flourish off the back of a little pedal then. Pilot chute first, drags the rest of the system with it. Massive amounts of deceleration. It's a violent, violent experience. To the Avenger, already on 3 points tonight, so a chance here against the Red Devil for both of these drivers to go through to round 3 on the maximum 6 points.
Thing I love about this series too, the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars. There's no telemetry. There's no data acquisition. It's instinct racing. Very simple, Spartan in the cabin. Just the essentials and the experience you need to get it down the racetrack.
Old school racing, old school body shapes, but new technology, new running gear.
And it reinforces the point we're talking about before, how consistent they are. So good.
Big matchup, this one. Olive trying to keep his stranglehold on this venue. And that's a great drag race. Wow, maybe run of the night so far in terms of the ET as well. 5:44 gets the win alongside that 5:50. Good stuff.
That has come out of nowhere. We've seen a lot of cars struggle, battle, fight to the finish. No such trouble for this guy. And when you start getting on the sunny side of 5.5 seconds, you're hitting some really quick times.
Breathing a bit of clutch dust. That's all cool. That's what it's meant to do. Fire it out the back. Just watch there. A little bit of a wiggle in the rear of that car as the tyres tried to find the right grip on the track. Big race. And that is a huge win, highlighted right there, going through on the big one. 6 points each. And that'll be our last race of the night. Messineo versus Donnelly for the trophies. Let's get back to the pits.
I don't know, that was a bit of a worry. I had my hands full at the end and thought I had it. And then I could see out the corner of my eye his win light come on. I thought, holy crap. It'll begin.
Oh, it hasn't stopped. It'll never end.
Well, we expected the track to tighten up a bit because the weather's come around now and the track's cooled down a bit. But yeah, sort of was the complete opposite at the start of that round. So happens, and yeah, so hopefully we can play a nice number down on the last one if the track's good.
The best is yet to come, the third and final round from Willowbank Raceway. Don't go anywhere. The stage is set. The start line is ready. This is Willowbank Raceway in Ipswich, Queensland. The crowd are ready too. Jumpers are on. That's interesting to see. So have we seen a change in the air conditions tonight? Typically cold conditions, as long as there's heat in the racetrack, means fast times are coming our way if you get the tune-up right. And here's a car that can always deliver. Final round action begins now.
We are not used to seeing the Nitro Express out this early in the third round. It's going to be interesting because when this sort of thing happens, they get angry. And angry means ET and speed normally. This is a damn good matchup. First one out of the gate for round 3.
Remember, Rick Gorsey, 16-time winner in this series. Just the one win here. So again, this place maybe just catching him out a little bit. And these two cars are both up in smoke in round 2. So looking forward to seeing what they've got if they can stay hooked up. And if they do break traction, watch out, because it's going to be first back on the pedal to win.
As day goes tonight at Willowbank, as we've seen quite often, you can get a bit of dew, a bit of water in the air, and that can add a little bit of a curveball. Conditions look good though. And as you said, Chad, it's going to come down to dialing in these cars to the conditions and getting it done.
Now remember, ET does matter from this point onwards. It'll be the tiebreaker, and any draw that we have. They can't finish first for the night, but second and third still up for grabs. Let's do this.
Not the best reaction time, but he's got the pace.
Wow, it's an amazing elapsed time though, and a 5:40 beats a 5:58. Yeah, the conditions are cherry ripe. Don't you worry about that. We are in for an exciting final round, and that is another huge run, getting down so close to the 30s once again for Rick Gorsey.
The amount of clutch dust in the cabin for Gorsey. Man, they had that thing loaded up and angry. 5:40. They're approaching the territory. What is it, 5:37s as quick as we've seen in the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Series. What a start.
Yeah, it's a good way to end it. Shame about the second round, but we got a little bit, I wouldn't say nervous, but we just left it the same as it was on the first round. But I think if we went after it a little bit more, she would have dropped back into the freeze again. But yeah, awesome comeback by the guys and the boys and the crew. GC, Yeah, amazing tuner. Can't say enough, mate, for this car. This car is just it's one of a kind.
So now we know the times to beat, and they are hefty. If you want to take home a trophy tonight, you need to be on your game, running into the 50s or faster. We are headed to some exciting finales tonight.
You're going to bring it. That's what it's going to take.
King Kong.
Jake Donnelly. Party Town, Emma Begley, but it's serious business of sorts for her here. In on board with Let's Boogie. As day turns to night, things tend to close in a bit on you. Think about the speeds these guys are travelling at, well over or approaching 450 kilometres an hour in the dark. Hello.
I love that. Over 400 kilometres per hour running down a hallway with the lights off. That's what this experience is like. And at Willowbank, over the edge of the racetrack there as well. It's a spooky feeling and a spooky sight.
And we saw with Gorsey the amount of clutch dust that gets in the driver compartment as well. Amazing.
Oh, Begley got absolutely hammered on the start line. Doesn't matter. First to the finish line. Gets the number that matters. Gets the win light. And that's a nice lap. 5:82. So what happened here then for King Kong? Just watch closely. Maybe a throttle issue there. They had the supercharger off in the pits before this run, and maybe an issue with the throttle cable itself.
Yeah, these cars are so heavy duty. Everything's mechanical. You're talking about the parachute, same with the throttle linkage. And you're working feverishly on these cars between rounds, things can happen. And it certainly did there by the looks of things for King Kong. But man, good run for Emma Begley. Got some points. Well done.
Oh, honestly, that's an awesome way to go out. A 5:68 and a win on the last pass. I can't ask for much more.
Yeah, that 60 in the first round of racing was impressive. And the good news for Emma Begley, that 5:82 leaves her in third place at the moment. So that's the time to beat if you want to take the trophy away from her.
Nitro musical chairs here for the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Series. And we know some big, big names still to come that love this racetrack and love competing in these cars, including the two on track right now. Anthony Begley still licking his wounds after getting beat by his adversary, Paul Massinio. And Justin Walsh, this guy really knows this place well. Starting to get his head around the Terminator. Double biceps Begley, eh?
Two of the most experienced guys in the field. Begley has raced just about anything you can race. Dragsters, funny cars, door slammers, methanol burning cars, nitro burning cars. He's about to put all that experience to the test.
Begley with the start line advantage, but it's Walsh with a win. 5:69. Nice time. Oh, is it enough though? I don't think so.
Well, that was a good run. It might be enough at the moment because he's just knocked Emma Begley off the podium with that run. But a 5:69 might be vulnerable given that this track is so fast right now. Well done to Justin Walsh on home soil.
Yeah, looked pretty tough round in the first one. We heard a few little parts, but we got it fixed and got it back out there. So I think we went 5:69, you said, for the win. Probably should have gone a bit quicker, a bit scatey through the top end, so I backed off just a little bit. But hey, a win light's a win light.
The big names and the fast cars are still to come as we go racing under lights here at Willowbank. Don't want to miss it. We hope you've been enjoying the coverage of the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Series. What a sound, what a sight. And we are about to finish off the night. We've got a couple passes to go. They are fast cars.
Really looking forward to this. A red haze, is it? Both sides of the racetrack. Morris McMillan in good form. Really getting to grips with some consistency with this car now. We know what Olive is capable of at Willowbank. We've seen some of his very best efforts here before.
There is that glorious 57 Chev. Good to see this driver and this car back together once again. We are into pre-stage and ready to go. Wow, no wasting time there for Shane Olive. That was quick.
Staging games, maybe. Maybe he needs it.
Good reaction times. And a great run from One Bad Kiwi. He is good tonight. Oh, a bit of heavy smoke in the other lane, but a 56 is a good run. One Bad Kiwi potentially on the podium tonight.
That's almost a Red Devil thing. He leans on it so hard and heavy here at Willowbank. He brought everything to the table and then some, but it wasn't enough. Shane Olive caught short by One Bad Kiwi. Morris McMillan in the frame for a trophy. Strong run.
Maybe just burning up a piston there towards the end of the run. Nicely done, Morris.
Look, after our disastrous start, the car turned around and kind of did what it should all day long. So, yeah, look, stuff happens. I raced the black Chev and the red Chev. These are two blokes that I've looked up to for so long, and to take a couple of scalps like that, it's pretty cool regardless of what happens to the podium.
Got a big smile on his face, and rightfully so. And it all comes down to this as the Avenger rolls forward. Dan Donnelly. Could this be the night for Dan to break through and take what would be a huge win? But it's a tough matchup.
Well, he was fantastic. Talking about Dan Donnelly in the Avenger. He's got the maximum 6 points. Was quick and fast. Paul Massinio, the dark horse. He had a win at Calder, so it's not foreign territory for the grey goatee crazy drag racer. We love him.
So winner of this race wins the night. The loser still needs a good ET. 5:40 the time to beat for second. 5:56 the losing time to beat for third. If you like what you see, come and join us when we go racing in Perth at the Perth Motorplex in January. Always a massive event.
One of the best motorsport events in the country. Full stop in January. Check out the website.
Well, oh, this is exciting. Taking our time in the stage. Now we're in. Let's do this.
Oh, tight. Donnelly's front in on the hit. So aggressive. Gets it done.
Wow, with a 49 as well. That's a huge run. Huge run. What a way to win. And that is a new benchmark for the Avenger. Welcome to Victory Lane. Dan Donnelly becomes the 9th different driver to win in series history. Does it in style.
Replays. Donnelly's so aggressive on the step, on the hit of the go pedal. Very impressive. Great way to finish. Willowbank turning it on the Aeroflow Outlaw Circus. Amazing as always.
It's been a great day. Feeling stoked. Today's gone pretty smoothly. Car's behaved. Haven't had really any issues, so it's great.
We beat Beggs. So I was a winner anyway. I don't need a trophy. Beating Beggs is just, that's it. I'm done. I've got to retire. No, I can't. I've got to get him again.
What a great night. We hope you enjoyed the action. It's such a cool series. And now it heads west to the Perth Motorplex. We love this show. We love these cars. We'll see you in the Wild West when we go racing once again with the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car.